right. You got all of the, like, who's the best and worst and everything. ATS, overs, unders, odds, MVP, you name it. League-wide skinny.
League-wide skinny. I will. There was one game I forgot, and I will just bring it up for this point. The Pistons destroyed the Bulls last night.
Cover.
They had a 71-29 lead at the half. The Bulls scored 29 points in the first half on their way to getting rocked by 40 at home by the Pistons, and they play again tonight. Same two teams in Chicago. We'll give you those numbers in a little bit. Hope the Bulls give you a little bit of a better effort this evening. Best and worst against the spread. Our weekly look at this. Here's the best side first. Grizzlies, Cavs, Thunder, Raptors. There's the Raptors. We told you 32-21-1 the Raptors. Clippers and the Blazers now, after their hot streak, have made it into the top best of.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with any of that anymore. I mean, we have turned it into cash, money, homie. We got it all going with all these teams. When we had the Blazers, they covered in 11 straight games, whatever it was. And we were cashing every night. The Raptors spitting out 20s out of the machine. The Thunder, Cavs, and Grizzlies are three of the best teams in the league. Every night, cash flying out of the ATM. I mean, the bottom line is, I'm not surprised about any of those in the least.
No, not at all. The worst side of things, the Heat, Pelicans, Sixers, Kings, and the Suns. The Suns, an abysmal 18-34-1 against the spread.
I cooked them last night. You know, I had the Grizzlies. Hit 3 of 4. I've hit 11 of the last 14 spreads that we played. Now, hopefully, tonight we can stand up to it. There's, 15 games, so the rubber meets the road tonight. Like, if you're hot, can you stay hot is the question. Obviously, there is certain levels of danger that I see on the board around every corner.
Lots of danger. When you have 15 games on the board, there's always going to be some danger lurking in several quarters. All right, up and away. The best over teams in the NBA so far as we're about to hit the All-Star break. The Cavs, 34 games to the over so far. Grizzlies, Nuggets, Pelicans, Knicks, Pacers, and Spurs. The best at going up, and away.
I mean, the only one I'm surprised about is the Pelicans. And look, no one wants to hear this, and I really don't care. I was down there, and I was there for a week, and we kept going by the smoothie center, which is right next to the Superdome, and I thought to myself, literally, I said this: how does this town have an NBA team? Like, honestly, like, how do they have a pro hoop team down there? I mean, let's just get real here. They eat fish, oysters, crawfish. They drink booze. They got brothels. They got strip clubs. They got jazz. And they've got just massive murder and crime and drug-infested streets. And then they got this basketball arena over by the river. I'm like, I looked at it, and then they showed us Zion on the side of the building, the guy that doesn't even want to be there and who never plays. And I got to tell you, I just don't think they should have an NBA team there. They don't deserve it. I mean it. Like, they got everything else. They got the seafood down pat. They got the jazz down pat. They got 11 Super Bowls. Congratulations. That's because the Crescent City is a party city. But to me, I'm not surprised they have the Saints. I am surprised they have an NBA team, and I'll live with it. I'm not afraid to say it. I think it's a bad spot for the NBA. And there's no players that like playing there. Not one. Not one. Anthony Davis couldn't get out of there fast enough. Zion wants to drown himself in the Mississippi River. He hates it so much. Don't tell me he likes it there. He hates it. The only thing he likes there is Acme Oyster Bar and, GW Fins. That's it. He likes food. There's no other reason. He hates that place. I'm telling you, he'd rather be in New York or L.A. as sure as I'm sitting here.
I don't doubt it. And I think they're on that list because they give up some nights like 130, 140
That's right.
points. Like, there's a lot of nights where Pelicans, they're hitting those overs because they're giving up a ton of points on a nightly basis, getting smashed. On the underside, down. Hornets, Magic, Nets, Clippers, and Celtics. The unders, best under teams in the NBA.
Yeah, explain that to me because, now all of a sudden the Nets are within striking distance of a play-in game. Why are the Hornets on there? They don't do anything for me other than LaMelo. LaMelo and Bridges are the only reason. Another, I'll give you North Carolina loves their hoops. They love college hoops. I don't believe they've ever loved the Hornets. Honestly, they've been around there forever, and they don't draw, and no one cares about them. They're another disastrous NBA market. They really are. Let's get down to business here today and talk about teams that shouldn't be in places. You talk about Vegas and Seattle need NBA teams. There you go. Pelicans and Hornets should both move.
But the funniest part of it is that the Pelicans, they came from Charlotte. The Hornets moved from Charlotte to New Orleans.
That's even more bizarre.
That's where the original Hornets were moved to New Orleans.
You're right, that's how bad they are.
And then they gave Charlotte back a team. What do they call them? The Bobcats. And then they got the Hornets.
You remember
they got the Hornet
Michael
name
Jordan
back.
When he owned the team? What a disaster!
The Bobcats.
He didn't even go to the games. They were so embarrassing.
They've been bad for a really long time. We'll see if they can ever turn things around. We'll come back. I do have some updated awards for you as well. I even have, how about this coming up soon too? Some Ben Simmons for you. Very excited to be joining the Clippers and ready to play contribute. Says he's ready to play.
The Black Cloud Diner. We're going to air him live on C2Z. I've seen it all. Honestly, Mike, I was just watching some of his highlights of his career with every single team. And, I mean, Jesus H. Christ, this guy, when he was young. And he's not even, you can't even stop him now. I mean, to tell you, when he was young, coming into the league in OKC, his moves were just, silly string. You couldn't guard him. This guy had so many shake and bake moves and step backs and drag steps and dunks and flush dunks and poster dunks. And he had every trick in the bag. Watching his highlights is, whew. He's got some of the greatest facial moves ever, dropping guys on the ground. He's got hundreds of them, guys breaking their ankles, falling down, being humiliated. It's crazy. Durant.
It really is. It is wild. Your boy, Slim Reaper, getting involved. Your boy. He's not on this board. MVP update as we hit the All-Star break.
He's so good, he's got two nicknames. Easy Money Sniper, too. He's so good, he's got two nicknames.
SGA, minus 600 as we're about to hit the break. Joker, plus 425. Everybody else, out of sight. Way deep. Yeah. Triple-digit type numbers. Just get him out of here. It's SGA. It's the Joker. That's it down the stretch.
Can we finally give it to Shai Gilgeous? And I think that Joker's I think he is probably the most undeniably difficult person to play against in the NBA or in the world right now on, many levels on both ends of the floor. But he doesn't even care. He just doesn't even show any sign. He'll literally say he likes the horses better. He doesn't care about any of this. Can we give it to someone that actually cares, that wants to be great every night in the NBA? This guy Joker, I'll be surprised he's in the league in 2 years. It's just he's not even getting off doing it. Why play if you hate it so much? Give it to Shai Gilgeous. Stop with all this nonsense. He's had a better season than Jokic. Jokic triple-double every night. Still, Shai Gilgeous better.
Better indeed this year. He's going to get it. I don't see much of that changing as we continue on. Most improved player. This is always a hot topic. How do you actually gauge who's the most improved. But I think Cade Cunningham, who's minus 140 right now, that's a pretty good one. And Norm Powell, too, I think deserves some flowers. And he's plus 125. Still very close there with Cunningham and Norm Powell.
I mean, I sent you a story late this afternoon. He's one of 3 players in NBA history at his age to have the 4,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 1,300 dimes. Cade Cunningham. And Doncic is one of the other ones. I forget who the third one is.
Oscar Robertson.
Oscar Robertson. There you go. Oscar Robertson, the Big O, and Doncic and Cade Cunningham. Who's the most improved player? This also is over. This is over. He is the most improved player. No one, 3 guys, and he's one of them, in the history of the NBA have done what he's done. And you're not going to give him this cheesy award? Well, you better. Get your head on straight.
Third fastest was that note. 187 career games it took him to reach all of those numbers. As you mentioned, Big O and Luka, the only ones who did it faster than Cade Cunningham. And this guy, another guy who's missed a lot of time since he's come in the league. He
plays on an absolute, for the first couple years of his career, on an absolute landfill trash team.
Yes. And the reason why that team is finally back in a playoff spot is because of him. He's the reason why that team is in there. And finally, the only other award I'll give you today, Rookie of the Year. And this has changed a lot. There's been a lot of guys who have been at the top of this odds board throughout the season. But Stephon Castle from the Spurs, plus 190 there. Ware there for the Heat at plus 220. And then Wells, Edey, Ricochet, Sarr, a few others there in the mix.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Zach Edey, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing. Everyone that thought he was going to be a bust can have a sandwich. That conversation's over. I mean, that guy is a true big in the NBA and can take on anyone in the league. There's no one he's afraid of. He's a monster. He's an absolute monster, and it's only going to get worse. He's just going to keep getting smarter, stronger, bigger, more muscle. Carver High, I got to listen to Ben Simmons. What a player he's turned into. He should be playing in the rec leagues. He should be playing down at the Y or the JCC or with me on 9:30 tip nights.
I just felt this clip was hilarious. You know, he was introduced yesterday. It was first time, I guess, in Clipper practice or introduced as a Clipper. But, like, he makes it sound like somebody's been holding him back from playing or something. Like, he makes it sound like, the Nets were, like, keeping him down or the Sixers. Like, the student play because, like, he always walks around with his hand on his back. Like, my back hurts, this hurts, that hurts. That's why he doesn't play. But he says he's not listening to anybody. He's ready to play for the Clippers.
That's great. I'm a competitor. I just want to compete. Regardless of, I don't know, all the bullshit that is said online that doesn't come from me. I want to compete, and I'm here to do that. And to play alongside, some of these great players is going to be great. I think everyone's just going to push each other to be better and expect greatness. So that's my expectation, coming to the Clippers.
I mean, I'm gonna start. I may start crying in laughter. This guy is so awful. It's just over. His career from Philadelphia to now is literally a train flying off the tracks into the woods and blowing up and catching on fire. I mean, literally a massive derailment. He has just completely been worthless. He's 6'10". He used to be the best north-south player in the NBA. And now he's east-west from one bench to the next. He's meaningless. I'll believe it when I see it that he could ever play 10 games in a row. I mean, honestly, he couldn't play 10 games in a row if nobody else showed up and they had to play him. He still wouldn't play. He was absolutely effing worthless with the Brooklyn Nets. He was a roster spot. They were paying him tons of money, and he was just, all he was in the way. And it had to have something to do with this Marks and him both being Australian. One of these, like, countryman type bullshack stories I can't let my guy down. He's from down under. Whatever. I don't have feelings like that. I thought they should have whacked that worthless GM too. He's another one that's a disaster. I don't know what it is. I always thought they had good ball down there, and those two made me change my mind about that instantaneously. I think nothing of what they do in basketball down there. Now when I see them on the schedule in the Olympics, I'm licking my chops.
It is amazing. He's played 33 games this year. He played 15 games last season. 15 games.
He's worthless.
Played 42 the year before that. Like,
his back is fried. His body is fried. His mind is fried. I mean, you know what he does better than anybody? He wears Dolce & Gabbana clothes on the sideline and Gucci. That's what he does better than everyone else. He's got his $1 million diamond earring and his $1 million watch. He's made more money than God, and he isn't worth Shaq. He isn't worth Shaq. He is worthless. They're going to find out in short order. You'll see him. He has a perfect spot on every NBA bench now. 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. He's sitting in one of those chairs.
That's where he should be. There was thought that Alex Len was going to sign with the Pacers.
Speaking of garbage.
But I guess after the Lakers lost out or had to rescind that Mark Williams trade, they needed another big man in-house. So Alex Len to the Lakers. He'll be there.
I score more than him, honestly. And he's got 8 inches on me. I will score more than him and play better than him. And I'm almost 60. He is literally he shouldn't even be allowed to play in China. That's how bad he is.
Not good.
They have no chance of doing anything with that Galoof playing for the Lakers. Like, let's just stop here. There has to be someone like you and I to come along and just call these people out for what they are. He's a hack.
He's a hack.
He's never done a G-damn thing in the NBA for 1 second. He's never done one thing. He's never been on a highlight in his entire career.
You know, he was still in the league.
I'm not nice.
To be quite honest with you.
If you want nice, go watch all the girls on ESPN. You'll have a great time. They'll even teach you about hockey, and they've never been to a hockey game in their life. They'll teach you about basketball. They got no men doing that either.
Also with the Lakers, Austin Reeves in his last 5 games.
And I'm right about that,
27.4 points per game, 6 boards a game, 6 assists a game, 2 steals per game. Austin Reeves in fuego for the Lake
Hillbilly
Show.
Mamba.
Hillbilly Mamba.
I like his game. And they got 2 of them now. They got 2 Larrys. They got Austin Reeves and they got Doncic, 2 Larrys. I mean, you don't see white boys putting up those numbers. Not in this league.
Speaking of Doncic, the jersey that he wore in his debut the other night allegedly could be worth up to $1 million. There's a problem, though. There's some speculation that he gave the jersey to Puka Nacua. Did you see this? He took his jersey off at the end of the game and swapped jerseys with Puka Nacua. Could be $1 million jersey that he gave Puka Shells walking around with.
Everyone loves Puka Shells. I will not engage in berating one of our favorite players. If he has the jersey, so it is written. So it is done.
That's it. That's how it goes. All-Star game this weekend, of course. Everyone's very excited for the format that they're going to have. They're actually going to have their first ever on-court MC of the All-Star game on Sunday night. That would be Kevin Hart.
You think he does enough commercials? Who is on more commercials, the Mannings or this guy? I said the other day on Twitter that what is next for the Mannings? KY commercials? Going to start doing lube?
Have we had any Kevin Hart and Manning brothers together in the same commercial? Have we had that yet?
And the Kelseys, they're also on the top 5 list of painful reminders.
And Adam Silver says there could be a USA versus the world format down the road. I mean,
the NHL already did that 30 years ago.
No one will care. Nobody cares now. Nobody cared then.
So
nobody will care in the future.
Aren't they having the skills thing Saturday night? So here's the deal. Valentine's Day's Friday. Can't go out Friday. Chop's got basketball or something.
Fridays, those rookie sophomore games, sophomore G League.
Gonna have to miss those. So I'm not watching that. So Saturday, I'm taking Chop and 34C out to a fancy dinner. It's like a day after Valentine's double date for Uncle Futrelli. And I'm going large to some place I've never gone to. Allegedly, some 5-star place I've never been to. Hot ticket. I'm going to this place. I'm not watching any of that stupid NBA All-Star Weekend. My buddies all work in the NBA. They're all going to San Francisco. I go, enjoy the 12-hour flight. There and back. It's just the worst. Flying to San Francisco is the worst. I'd rather fly to Tahiti.